Good morning and welcome to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston, President and CEO of the Roby family of companies. We're your hosts. Thanks for spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. Trent, good morning to you. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving with your family. Coming up on today's show, we're going to get handy. We're going to talk about that holiday honey-do list, things you want to get done around the house. We're going to have David Doval on with us. I know David is a partner of the Andrew Roby Company. He also has a show here on WBT on Saturday mornings, but you've known him for a while, right, Trent?
Yeah, no, David and I met through NARI. We've done actually a show on NARI. NARI is the National Association of the Remodeling Industry. David and his wife, Gina Harold, are both very involved in NARI. And from the standpoint that they want to uplift the industry and they want to give back to the community, to the youth of the community. So it's great to have David. You know, when we started bouncing around the idea of us doing a radio show and kind of what we wanted to be based on, more on business and our company as a background and telling funny and cool life lesson stories and talking about that and having cool guests on that we can learn from.
Yep.
Everybody said, "Oh, well, you're going to compete with David Doe." Well, no, we don't compete at all. We're allies. They have a stance where they're trying to help you fix your home up and what you can do around the house. And David likes talking about your home being your greatest asset. Yep. I agree with that. So we have a different stance. So it's good to have David on here, and none other better than the Handyman Show. Absolutely. To have him on.
Yep.
You know, coming into the Christmas season, you got stuff around your house you want to get done.
So we're going to talk to him. We're going to talk about things you can get done around the house. Later on in the show, we're going to be joined by another David McGuire, COO of the Andrew Roby Company. He's been around the company since you guys were kids, basically. He grew up as part of the Roby family of companies. So, and we're going to kind of have that conversation about if you don't have time, you're listening, some things you want to do around the house, stay with us because David's going to talk about how the Andrew Roby Company and specifically Roby Handyman can come in and help knock those things out before your family shows up for Christmas.
Yeah, David McGuire, we went to high school together. He started with our company 21 years ago. His first summer, he was the brick mason's helper. And I had grown up helping brick masons my whole life. I kind of punked on him a little bit. Don't tell him that. He isn't in the room yet.
I'll make a note of that.
But, you know, I didn't think he knew how to mix mortar with the best of them. But he made it. He survived, and now he is our chief operating officer of all of our construction division,
yep.
Which is Andrew Roby is that brand, which includes our office, Atlantic Beach, Raleigh, the RDU area, Boone in the mountains, and the Charlotte office is our flagship. Right. So I love David McGuire too. He's a very close family friend, dear friend.
And I'll tell you what, I think what David represents, we talk a lot about just the Roby family of companies and the fact that you're a third generation in this, you know, from your grandfather Glenn to your father Ron. But you look at this as a family business, and that family expands beyond what your traditional family is. Dave McGuire is part of your family. A lot of these guys have been around for 10, 15, 20 years within the company.
Oh, yeah. David likes to talk a little bit about my grandfather, Big G. He'd probably bring that up in a little while. I know he likes to tell stories. He was around. My grandfather passed away in 2005. He was around in the late 90s and early 2000s, got to know my granddad well. And really, I mean, David's family is part of our family. And one thing that my dad always did with our associates from the top down is he treated them all, and me and my brother had to be okay with sharing my father's love and fatherhood with our other associates. And I hope that I can be a fraction of that to our staff now and as we go into the future, really. That's the truth.
Yeah, and it's a great way. It's a great way to live your life, and that translates into a great business model. But that same care, compassion, and understanding extends to our clients. So anybody out there that is part of the Roby family, if they're a client, they're part of the Roby family, and they feel that same, whether it was your grandfather, your father, now you and Travis. You know, you talk to some of these clients, and they have such a bond with Travis because he's out in the field in their home every day. I mean, Travis is part of their family, and that whole extension is really – we've talked about it on the show before. That's why you call it the Roby family of companies.
Yeah, Travis is 6'4". I'm 5'2". So he's got
slightly. This is a small difference.
He's got the Glenn Haston in him. I always say he's the tall one with good hair. I think why David McGuire and I are so close is because when we were in high school together, I always had real thin hair and a high 4-line my whole life. It's an uphill battle. Thanks, Dad. And he always had this real low 4-line, real thick hair, the thick follicles and a lot of it. And now he's bald as a bat. So I love David McGuire. Now I have thicker hair than him and a couple of my other good old friends.
I'm not going to bring that up when David actually comes in the studio in a little bit. We'll let that. You can tell him about it.
Well, David Doval, who's coming on next, always talks about how he has a radio face. I think I have a radio head. And as I look at you with your thick mane spiked up, man, you need to be on TV, brother.
That's why Travis is in the studio. Another Travis Thomas. We have a YouTube channel, which by the way, if you're listening, if you don't catch the show, you got to get out of the car. You're going to go buy something. You can go to iTunes. You can listen to this show, anything in the library that we've done. You also go to YouTube. Just search At Home with Roby or Roby Realty is what the channel is. You can watch us. They don't have to just listen to us, Trent. They can watch us on YouTube.
Oh, Lord.
We're
really?
YouTube stars, yeah.
I didn't know. Travis always cuts me out of the caption on the picture. I think my sound is enough.
Cuts off like right here.
If
you're watching on YouTube,
if you're
right
looking,
now,
we're doing the hand motion.
Yeah.
We're making a line. There's
go to
a wall.
YouTube, search Roby Realty. Follow us.
We are a
subscribe.
divided front. The Ash and Trent team. Stay tuned next week to see if we reunite.
Absolutely. All right, Trent. Great conversation. When we come back, we're going to be joined by David Doble. You talked about him. We're going to talk about that holiday honey-do list. You're listening to the At Home with Roby show. If you want to learn more about what Andrew Roby can do for you, call us today at 704-334-5477 or always visit us at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. Stay with us. We'll be right back.